Morning, dear students. Once again, I welcome you to the social class as we are hearing about the political science. As today, we are going to hear about the third chapter, that is India's relationship with other countries. Dear student, so we are going to learn today that India has maintaining its good relation with the other countries. Even some cases, the relations have been broken up. Why it has been broken up? What are the causes to breaking up? Any country that cannot live its all alone. If we want to have a good development, as we see that a family never prosper a family never prosper without interacting with other families. Same as country also. Even any country, if it wants to prosper, definitely that country needs to have a relation with one other nation. Why? Because no country is independent. If any country is independent, it lacks many things. For example, the more population in India, we are not sufficient, adequate, natural resources like petrol, diesel, like the electronic things in our country. We need to have so much of import from other countries. If we need to import from other countries to meet all the needs of the Indian citizens, fulfill all the requirements of the people, we need to have a good relation with other countries. It's not only the matter of but economically, but it is the matter of even you certainly need to have weapons. In the matter of weapons, in the matter of education, in the matter of border security, in the matter of the living peaceful cooperation and healthy, we need to get connected with each other countries for their supports. Until and unless the country will not have interaction with any other country, we cannot see the development. The large scale of development is not possible. So therefore, it is like globalized. The globalized and modernized environment is required. Today we see India is terrifically, it has rapidly changed in its look. Comparing to the 1947 and 1980, 90s and 220 and 2020, if you compare every 10 years, we are seeing the rapid changes in India. We have been coming from landline to the landless. Wireless connection we are working from a landline services till we have come to a wireless services. Now India is one of the leading economic country across the world by its intellectual the inventions and also for self-depending and industry and many more things that even we are capable of handling. Okay. But it is possible when we have a good interaction, relation with the other countries. To maintain a peace and coexistence in the country, it also better for all that country, for its all goodness. If you don't have that, through the globalized and modernized, the way we see as present, the other countries like Dubai, like America, like Britain, European countries are prospering like anything. They have been modernized like anything. If you can see the India's position in the past several years back, we had a very drastic changes in our food style, in our dressing style, in our living style, in our luxurious things like cars, and in all the aspects, we are not less than in anybody. How is it possible? Why? Because we are sharing, we are maintaining the good relation with the other countries. Therefore, we are able to achieve so many, development in the nation. Even people are benefited with that. It is not a necessity. Sometimes, some countries think that it is not necessary. But I tell you, the book also says it is the need of the country to maintain the good relation with other countries. You might be thinking it is not necessary. India might think it is not necessary, but India has a need, Pakistan has a need, China has a need. It may be a China, whatever, a big country, Russia, however it may be a so big country. Until and unless it is not dependent on some countries for its natural resources, for its, because every country is in need of something or something export or import from one another. More availability of the steel, more availability of the spices in India is not only useful for India. We have an excess of agriculture, then we can send it to the other country. We can export it. We can have economic activity with other countries. Because we are in need of many things. In the same way, the other country is also in the need of so many things. So, it is not only a necessity, it is the need of that country should have a good relation with one another. If the relationships are good, if neighboring people are good, you can live with peaceful and cooperation. For example, as we have in an area, when we live in one area, if we are living peaceful with the neighboring people, then there is no problems. If anything goes wrong with the neighboring people who live aside of us, if there is some mistakes or something is going wrong with them, definitely we are going to see the consequences of not maintaining the right relation with them causes the hatredness. That hatredness leads into difficulty, and that house and this house may see the consequence of devastation, like fightings, like not liking each other. So many cases it becomes many of their works undone. Why? Because of not liking each other. So even it's a problem of the nation also. Sometimes China is aggressive over India. Sometimes Pakistan is aggressive over Indian land. China sometimes wants to occupy the Indian Arunachal Pradesh. They want to come into India. Sometimes Pakistan want to occupy the Indian land. See, if everybody lives in a peace and commonly, then there is no fighting between any other countries. So the relationship can be maintained well. Sometimes relationships are good, sometimes relationships are worse. The reason for that is, the norms, the rules, the mentality, the leaders who gonna come over the position. When the new leader comes, he need to be also try to maintain. India is always a country which has been from the Second World War until now. It is like a country where maintaining peace with any other countries. It does not attack anyone in advance. It takes action when somebody, try to harm another land. In defense we try to do that. Let us see, the Article 51, it speaks about peace and cooperation existence. It is explained in our Indian Constitution. This is our character. It is India's character. In the Article 51, it says, stay with peace, maintain the good relationship. This is almost the character of the Indian, every corner of the India. It's willing to maintain its relation, peace and prosperity. India is trying to have a cordial relationship. India is always trying to have its cordial relationship with the other countries. Today we have around 5 countries. That is the country of China. We want to see with China, country of China, country of USA, country of Pakistan, country of Russia. Okay, and we also gonna see these are the 4 countries which are we gonna speak on today or learn today. So first of all, we're gonna see about the China and India. China and India. How is the relation between India and China? You know, if I say about by 2020, it is down, not right. It is not good relation with the India and China at the current period, because we're seeing right there on the border of the China, we are facing it was about to be in this last month of September itself, we are about to face a difficult problem in India and Chinese border. About to face a war, which was about to be broke out with the war due to border disputes. So many cases we are seeing. In 2020, almost we are banning the Indian products. We're banning the the Chinese products in India, even Chinese apps and all. See, in 2020, the relationship is not maintained. The good relationship with the country can also accumulate good economy. These two countries are very strong country in the Asia, and in the world they are called as the economic countries. It is a big country. First of all, I can say it about China. It is a big country, and that big country share boundary with another big country like India. The big country is sharing its border, and it's always trying to dominate over India. But India is always trying to maintain its peace and cordial relation. You know, never India against China. Never it go attack first over China, nor even in Pakistan. But always see the first problem comes from there to India. Then we respond to them. Because we have a beautiful nature that not to harm any country, maintain its own peace. We India, a lot of all the Indian ministers, the prime ministers, they always followed the Indian constitution. They always try to follow the strive. They strive to have a good relation, cordial relation. See, a big country sharing its border with India. We see the relationship between the China and India is very old. It is very old, which is known to be from Mesopotamia and Sindhu River civilization time. This is where we have a story of very early age. Mesopotamia is a stage where it is seen the early people settlements in India. From that time till now, the relationship between India and China is this. From the time of Mesopotamian time, it's a very old time, very specific time. And in the river of Sindh River civilization, the people of India who had their living nearby the Sindh River of civilization, it is to be believed that around 4.6 millions. Here is a word, old is an earth. So even it is believed to have that around in that century, in that time BC, in those time, the Sindh, in the prant of the Sindh, in the place of the Sindh, people were began to live. You might going to see the movie called Mohenjo-daro. You can see how the construction was, how the people had their life. They were people like us. Even they had a good relation with all other countries. And they had a good rules and norms and system. India is a systematic country from that time to until now. Okay, it is to be believed that Buddhism is originated in India, has found wide acceptance in China. For this reason, at least, for this reason, India must be respected in the sight of China. The God of China born in India. God of the China is born in India. means India is their God. Not only just God, it is like when they have accepted it, so it is like in the sight of China, India is great. They need to respect India because they follow the Buddhism. The Buddhism is originated in India. So it is must be as it is accepted in China. So when it is originated in India, the origin place is like in a holy center for them it is to be believed. For a Christians, Israel is a holy center. For a Muslims, it's a Saudi Arabia is a holy center. For a Hindus, India is a holy center. Okay. And for a Buddhism, again India is a holy center. For a Chinese, the same manner. It is like the birthplace. So we see, the India and China need to have a good relationship. Even if we can look after from the religious way or from the old Mesopotamian time, so it has to have a good relation with the India. It is to be said that the relation is very ancient. The relation is very ancient. It is not recently formed. The relation between China and India has begun very back, very long back, and it is continued until now. We try to understand that this relation must keep continuing going on with the right foundation. But this old relation, the ancient relation is being breaking or it's being broken. In 2020, we are seeing the consequences. The fights are going to be with China and India. Chinese are always thinks that they are smart than anyone. They have a huge market across the world. When they have a huge market across the world is facing problem by Chinese. As students are sitting at home, you might be remembering the corona originated in Wuhan city of China. It is said that Chinese who is spreading this corona. Some says, America says. Don't know. As this virus has taken and given it is some people says that it is a biological war from China, or China claims that it's American biological war, but don't know who is playing. But right now, students' education is spoiled. The world is suffering. The huge, lots of people, they are losing their life. They're losing their life. How is it possible? One virus which has become very strong and killing the people. So, if the relationships are very strong, why there will be biological wars between other countries? Because the relationships have become worse, the hatredness is increasing over the countries. Some says that India is becoming very strong in economic and population. It is to be said that by 2022, year 2022, India is going to turn with the first populous nation in the world, first economic nation in the world, and the country which has more labor force, the country which is going to achieve the heights, great heights in all the things. So, if it happens to control that, result itself in 2019 only, it's an internal biological war. Some says that. Don't know what is that. Why it is not happening? Because India is a neighboring country. When China is prospering, India has no problem. When India is prospering, why China has the problem? Why China has a problem? So this is all because of not having a cordial and peace relationship. It is said that business cordial relationship with the China, especially with the material of like silk. The Arthashastra of Kautilya, it says us the details of the Chinese and India's, the Arthashastra which speak on the business relation with the Indian with them, with an silk sharing. The trade of silk was between the China and India. It is to be said the ancient time and until now we have a businesses. There's a different, the pattern of business are changes, the product is changed, the way of cordial relation of the business, norms and ethics are changed, but still we have a business. You know, most of the products in India, they come from China. From small pin to a big doll. You see, most of them, the products in India are out of the products of the Chinese. So we're going to see that there are, you know, India and China has a mutual relationship by the Panchashila principles. Through the Panchashila principles, these Panchashila principles are established. The Panchashila principles are established for the purpose to have a mutual understanding between these two nations. You know, the Panchashila principle which explains us about the Panchashila principle which are going to explain us that no country will invade on each country. The aim of that, social security, in not interfering in personal issues. Okay. Maintaining peace and cooperation with each other, respecting each other. These are the Panchashila mutual understanding. It has been, it is called to be like during the Jawaharlal Nehru and the Chong of the Chinese Prime Minister. In that time itself, it has been established. But situation are worse. But Panchashila principles are there right there. The developer of this Panchashila principle, Jawaharlal Nehru, he did a wonderful job by maintaining the right kinds of policies in front of them. And it has accepted also because the right policy is required for every country. If a country does not have a right policy, definitely there will be a problem. See, India is called in the sight of UN as a champion of maintaining peace and cooperation in the midst of having different types of religion, different types of language, different types of caste in India, but yet it's maintaining a wonderful peace, loving country. It's called peace and loving country. So, in the same manner, we never try to hurt the China or Pakistan. They come in just first step. How the fight comes from there. Then India takes. In this defense, we fight against them. So Panchashila principles are the best policy which have been, it has done in September. You see, on 7th September in the year 1948. In the year 1948, it has been, you see the implementation of these things. So, this is a wonderful journey towards the India and China. After this, we were having a good relation. Then we see that in 1962, in the year 1962, war broke out between India for the purpose of Tibetan escalation crisis. The Tibetan escalation crisis between them. And in so many times, border disputes of Arunachal Pradesh. You know, India is a country where Tibet is the neighboring country. It's trying to help the Tibetian. Whereas the Guru of Tibetan was not been accepted by the Chinese when they were supposed to kill that person. Then it was India which helped at that time to protect that person. So that was turned into a crisis of like giving a shelter to the enemy. They think that, but it was right way to protect persons. So India was trying to help the Tibet at that time, but it became an enemy of that. See, Tibet is a neighboring country of India and also neighboring country of China. Both the countries, one is trying to harm, one is trying to protect. So which is better? If the country is getting worse, peoples are getting worse, situation is getting worse. So it is better to help the country for the purpose of maintaining the peace and love. But China is from that time until now, we are in the certain wars are getting. now arises in the future. So border disputes are Arunachal Pradesh. These are the place from the day one until now. The disputes of the borders are yet continued. We are seeing the vast problems in these places. The leading economy of the world, these countries are leading economic of the world. In 1980, we tried to re-establish the relation when there was a 1960, we had a blockade problem. In 1980, tried to maintain the good relationship. Then in 2015, BRICS was a newly launched, have strengthened the relationship, have been strengthened the relation which have been broken between the India and China. Which was broken out, which has been initiated to make a right relationship with the China. So, dear friends, you need to understand that we need to have a right kind of relation with a country can give you a right understanding. So, India and China, when we see from the perspective of the 2020, Chinese are getting lost today. China is getting lost. China get hurt when India is improved with its weapons, with its the Rafale. Recently we got a Rafale to India, the high strength. When we are about to have a nuclear power energy, China was opposing. So many countries like Pakistan was opposing. When they have a certain qualities, we did not oppose them. And China is producing more products which is harming the global warming, which is dangerous for the global. But no countries of the world it listen to them. We are seeing the Chinese think themselves as they are more expert and they should do whatever they do is right, what other do is wrong. But India is never like that. India has always been like loving the people, caring the countries, sharing the boundaries, and having a right relationship with them. It's planned the purpose. India and China has lost its relationship. It was started from 1960, strengthened in 1980, more strengthened in 2015. But again in 2020, the situation is worse. So we need to have a good relation so that both the countries should have benefits in economically, in materially, in physically, and also if you can tally about like a production way and import and export, there should be a good right kind of relationship with these both the countries. Until and unless these are not gonna happen, so we are not gonna see the right movements in the country. So, dear student, the relationship between the India and China is the relationship of the business. More business. Every country has its way of one particular relation. Okay, that is like India, Pakistan, one category of relation. India, USA, like education. India, Russia as the weapons. India, China as the business. So hope you understand the relation between India and China. So we're gonna see the next India and Pakistan in the next explanation. Thank you, dear students. Have a great day. Bye.